righty, we're back. Thanks for sticking with us. You listen to Planet Green Trees 1-347-326-9626. Your host, Michael Kamorn. As I said, we've been joined by Rick, Christine Beebe, and, of course, Mike McShane, Red Dog, and we're going to go right over to Mike right now.
Thank you, Michael.
And you're reporting, of course, because you've been tracking through the DMC your treatment of HIV with Simpson oil. And I know today was a big day, and you wanted to explain to the listeners that have been following what kind of results have been happening.
Well, today was a huge day for me in Operation Kryptonite. Christine and I went down there in an effort to find out, what the effects are. And unfortunately, we really don't have any results as far as numbers one way or the other. They wouldn't tell me what I'm doing is, they told me what I was doing was bad, is what they told me. And a quick rundown of the office call was a patient advocate came in for, 45 minutes. My impression of him was he's just on a constant grind to get me back on pharmaceuticals. At one point, believe it or not, folks, he recommended Marinol. I stopped him right in the middle of his conversation. I said, if you mention Marinol to me again, I'm going to puke on you. And I told him that all of his medications were garbage to me, and specifically Marinol. But they spent a lot of time on me, making me think about what I was doing and what their course might be. About, like I said, about maybe 45 minutes of this guy hammering on me on the pills, and I just wouldn't take it. I asked him to leave a couple times, and he wouldn't. Finally, the doctor came in. And he was a little upset that I'd had somebody with me as a witness. Asked Christine, who are you? And now you got to imagine, after 25 years, we'd be talking fishing stories and about his kids, all kinds of personal stuff. And there's none of that going on anymore. He came in, the doctor, over 20 years, like I say, and he said that my situation was deteriorating, and it continued to deteriorate. So I asked him what the results of the blood tests were that we took last week, and he really played a shell game with me. He had 2 out of the 3 results in front of him, and the way he was presenting it to me he was really giving me the second number as the third number in this test. There was no third number in this conversation. So what they were doing was recycling these older test numbers and telling me that what I was doing wasn't working, and really kind of just distracting me in a very underhanded is what it was. So I had to ask him about 3 times what numbers he was referring to and what was my last number when it was taken. Was it last week or last month? And it turned out to be last month. So, right off the bat, he's telling me my situation's deteriorating and he doesn't have test results. So that was kind of a problem for me. And they were almost demanding that I go back on this medication, and I stipulated that I'd consider it if I knew what my test results were, and that, since he didn't have them, he said it might be 2 or 3 weeks before he did. I said, well, last time I came in here, it was only 4 or 5 days. What changed? And there wasn't any explanation there. But I'd also asked him, if he had taken notice that POZ magazine, it's an HIV positive journal that most doctors' offices handle or have in their office if you go see a HIV doctor. Right on the cover from that study I talked about a couple weeks ago at Mount Sinai Medical School, POZ magazine picked it up. When I asked him if he had heard about the study, the doctor said, no, I don't read, it's not the kind of journal that I read, is what he said. And when I recommended that it was actually written by the this medical school in New York, he said, actually the Mount Sinai Medical School in New York, my doctor recommended, in the long and short of it, that maybe I might want to go to Mount Sinai and get treatment for HIV. And it wasn't really very long after that before he stormed out of the office and slammed the door. I mean, it was a fight. It was really a fight for money. At no time did the doctor indicate to me that, you know, what I was doing wasn't good for me. It was really them, and it was just about taking the pills and getting back on their program. And I could see that it was really a counterfeit operation, is what I would call it.
Still no results, though. Is that what you're saying?
Right. And
well, the second set of results came back quite quickly, but this third set of results seems to be lollygagging and taking its time.
Well, the first set came back right away, and the second set came back right away. And now this really, what I'm considering to be the test to see if they're still going down, the T cells, which they had been, or they're going back up. And without, you know, test results, we won't know until maybe as early as later next week or so. But what I'm talking about is, you know, changing the rules of engagement on me and on my case, you know, as we go. So what I saw today was a fight. It was, it's really getting down to a fight with these guys, and they don't want marijuana, and this is why.
Certainly seems like in order for any medical institution to accept the validity of marijuana as a healthy resource, they have to change their paradigm. There's no shortage of statistics or studies indicating that marijuana is promising. You certainly pointed out the one from Paz, and there's been many, many others. What was the other thing we spoke about previously before coming on air? There was a study, a paper just released, Mike?
Well, that was the Mount
Sinai.
The Mount Sinai medical study that is a real school that teaches medicine, and they've taken the bull by the horns, and they haven't done what I did and take somebody off medication that was doing fine and try this, but that's what I did, and so I took it a little further than they did. But on their testing so far, which is a real medical paper, they're saying it's probably the most promising antiretroviral known to mankind. So how do you go from the best to junk? You know, the disparity here is incredible. So I think that my personal thought is I think we're very close to a solid answer. I think I'm doing the right thing. I think I'm going to show the community I'm doing the right thing, and I think that marijuana cures cancer and probably AIDS, and that's the reason why we're having such a hard time with our government.
Now, it doesn't have to be the Mount Sinai or anything like that, but are you going to get a third-party independent testing done so you know for sure what's going on with this? Sounds like you're having a hard time getting that information.
Yeah, Jamie, I haven't even seen a real chart. I just hearing, you know, numbers out of, you know, verbally. So yes, I'm going to get some chart notes together, some copies, and I'm going to hit the road with this thing, and I'm going to find out what's going on.
All right, listen, I think we made our calls. I do want to make a couple quick announcements before we get there. First of all, next week's show is going to be on Wednesday, not Thursday. Next week's show is going to be Wednesday, not Thursday. The date is what then?
The 18th,
right,
I believe.
And we will be listed and posted, and we will be recognized. Secondly, today, if anyone didn't know this, is Miserman's birthday. That's right, Miserman, happy birthday. We're celebrating on your behalf, and we would not let another minute go by without acknowledging that on Planet Green Trees.
Shouting out to the Misermans.
That's right. 3. I can't even move past that. I want to stay on the Miserman birthday for a little while. All right. Now, May 15th, precinct delegates for Democrats and Republicans. We had Tony DeMott on a few weeks ago explaining to the community, if you want to participate in the process, that there are delegate seats that are open in every precinct across the state. If you're interested, go in. May 15th is the deadline. Go to the city clerk, request to be put on the ballot, and get engaged in the process. Moving along, VGIP list will be coming out next week of the dates and times of where they're going to be in the month of May. I want to encourage people to visit the person that I spent some time with this weekend, Everett Swift, his mihemp.org, I think it is, moving the discussion about the hemp farming as a viable industrial product that will have significant economic changes in the Michigan economy if anyone ever got around to really thinking about that. And finally, I want to give a big shout-out to our friends over at Michigan Normal, Matt Abel, all the people that were here that participated in the Hash Bash, John Sinclair, Steve D'Angelo, Sharmy, Brandy. What a great day, and great reception in the press. In that it was a much more politically driven theme, which I thought was interesting and picked up on it being a more mainstream issue, and also something that's in the public discussion much more than it had ever been.
Very large crowd for the political speakers compared to years past, I would say.
All right, very good. So, and then, of course, I wanted to say that 420, Friday night only, April 20th, Holliswood presents 8th Annual John Sinclair Music and Arts Festival, Blues, Funk, Reggae, and Rock. 420 show returns to the 33 Hastings Street Ballroom for 2012. Doors open at 3:30. At 4:20, there'll be a tent outside and other types of activities. And then, of course, phone to get in contact there is 313-420-7487. That'd be Hollis P. Wood. All right.